welcome to another episode of the Cozy Cottage Crochet Podcast. My name is Hannah, and this is a podcast all about crochet, a little bit of knitting, a little bit of sewing, and generally living the yarniest life possible in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live. Hello! It has been a whirlwind of 2 weeks. I cannot believe it has already time to record again. We have plenty of things to talk about, but before we get into what I have been making, I know it's the moment that we have been waiting for 2 months, and I have the prize winners to announce for the Love Your Stash Cal. So for those of you who may be new here, we have had a crochet along, make along running since Christmas Day, and it went until February 28th, and the only rule was you had to use stash yarn to make your items. So there we have 8 prize packages, and if you would like to see what those are, you can go to the last episode and see those. However, I'm not going to show those off. I'm just going to announce the winners. The winners have been pulled randomly, so there was no specific picking except for one specific prize that I drew for an amigurumi prize. And then you are not going to know what you're going to get in the mail. I just need you to send me your addresses and your full names, and then I will send you a surprise package in the mail. So you will get one of the 8 prizes that was mentioned last time. We have 8. I know that seems like a lot of prizes. I am so excited to be able to offer that many. That is only thanks to the generosity of the viewers of this podcast. So I absolutely could not do this without you. So I'm so appreciative of you. I wish I could give everyone a prize, but that would mean that I would be giving out like hundreds of prizes, and that's just not possible. So what I have done is I have drawn 3 prizes from the finished objects thread, 2 prizes from the works in progress thread in Ravelry, 2 prizes from Instagram, and 1 prize for an amigurumi, because it comes with a book on how to make amigurumi. In the FO thread for the Love Your Stash Cal, there was 808 posts. What? I can't believe that. That's definitely the biggest cal we have ever run together, and I'm just overwhelmed. All the projects in there are so beautiful, and I don't even know what to say. So there were 808 opportunities to win a prize. I have drawn 3 winners. I will put the winners' names up on the screen right now, and I will say them. If you are a winner, I have already sent you a message on Ravelry or on Instagram by the time you see this video. So I'm not one of those people that's like, you have to watch the video and find out. So I have sent you a message. I want to get your prize to you. You will have 2 weeks to get back to me with your full name and your mailing address, and then I will be able to send you your prize hopefully next week. So prize winner number 1, these are in no particular order in the FO thread, is number 111, and that is, it made me laugh when it popped up because it's Debbie of the Canadian Crocheter. Hi Debbie! And it was for that hat you made, the red and orange one that was kind of like spirally that you ripped out a bunch of times before you got it right. So when that popped up, that really made me smile. So I have something to send to you. The next prize goes to number 793. That is Chloe's Crocheting. I believe that is Chloe from Ohio. I'm not sure where you are from. Hopefully that was Ohio. So please send me your address. And the third prize from the finished objects thread goes to number 386. That is Wheezy34. I don't know your name. I couldn't find that in Ravelry, but I believe you are possibly from New Jersey. So those are the 3 finished objects prizes: Debbie 1667, Chloe's Crocheting, and Wheezy34. Moving on to the whip thread, works in progress, we have 2 prizes from that. There were 681 posts in the chatter thread for this. The 2 winners are number 557, that is Lisa Crow, whose name is Lisa, and number 347, whose Ravelry name is Batdat, B-A-T-D-A-T, who is Dawn. So you guys send me your address. And then finally, I did pick a specific prize for the amigurumi. It has a book on how to make amigurumi. It has a couple of balls of acrylic yarn and then some fun yarn that you can use for hair or things like that. So I drew a prize. I just picked one because this one person made the cutest little amigurumi monster, and that is Angie. And your Ravelry name is Stitched, which is S-T-I-T-C-H-T. So I know you said it was your very first amigurumi that you had ever made. So I want to give you the ability to make more. So I'm going to send you that prize. And then there were 2 Instagram prizes as well. And they are, again, randomly drawn. So, and there were 644 posts on Instagram. So the first prize goes to Linda.Hoffland. You made a beanie and I'm assuming your name is Linda Hoffland. Hopefully it is. I sent you an Instagram message. And then Shirley is the other person who won, whose Instagram name is Shirley Knits 123. So wherever you are in the world, whatever your mailing address is, please respond to the messages that I have sent you. If you can't find the message for some reason, send me an email to thecozycottagecrochet@gmail.com. I will get those prizes out to you. Again, you will not know what you are getting until you receive it. It will be, I can tell you, based on weight. So the person who is the farthest away is going to get the lightest package just because shipping costs are outrageous. And I don't know like what it is with the United States, but our shipping seems to have gone up recently, like a significant amount. I used to be able to mail stuff like a hank of yarn for like $3, and it's at least $3.50 or $3.75 now for the same size envelope. Seems like a lot to me, but whatever. So wherever you are, please send me your address. I am so happy to get that in the mail to you. I want to say a huge thank you to every single person who participated in the Love Your Stash Cal. I appreciate you. I'm so excited. And if you did not win a prize in this particular go around, don't worry, because we do have another make along that has started on March 1st, so just a few days ago, and I will give you those details now, but we will be going until the end of April, so April 30th, and there will be a ton of prizes. Again, thanks to the generosity of viewers of this podcast, I just have been able to put together some amazing prizes for that. There will be at least 8 packages for that as well. So the make-along we have running right now is called the Spread the Warmth Mal, and I will put that hashtag below on the screen. You can get to the Ravelry group where the chatter thread, there will be a finished objects thread. I'm a little behind on life, so I haven't opened it yet, but I will by the time you see this video. There's a link directly to it right down below. You can join in the Ravelry group, post your works in progress, post what you have to say, and then of course post your finished objects. So the Spread the Warmth Mal only has one rule, and that rule is you have to make something and give it away. So you have to spread the warmth. So I will be turning 30 at the end of April. Anyways, that was a pity party. I'm getting older, but we did a charity make-along this time last year, and it was for the Knitted Knockers organization that makes prosthetic breasts for people that have been affected by breast cancer. And so this year, I wanted to expand that even a little bit more. You can absolutely make knitted knockers if you would like to, or crocheted knockers, but the only rule for this crochet along is that you make something and you put your love and your time and your energy to it, and then you give it away, whether that be to a charity organization, whether that be to someone who's just going through a tough time and needs to know that you love them at the moment. However you are going to spread the warmth, that's totally fine, but the only rule is you have to give it away. You can use new yarn, you can use old yarn, you can knit, you can crochet, you can sew, you can do anything you want as long as you are spreading the warmth. And I am just so excited. I have set a goal. I don't know if we're gonna reach this. I hope so. We have almost 2 months still to do this. I'm gonna be making some hats, and I'm gonna be making a Just Feel Better shawl, which is a pattern by Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craft Cast. I'm going to be making that for a friend who needs a little extra love in her life at this moment. So I would love it if we could get to 300 finished objects, 300 individual items, and I think we can absolutely do that because the only rule is you have to give something away. So go to the Ravelry group, join in this make-along. There's gonna be some amazing prizes. And also, if you are making socks for the year of the Sock 2019, I will be drawing a prize for the first quarter at the end of March. So that will be coming up soon. And that's just an informal. If you're making socks, knitting them, or crocheting them in 2019, you can enter that make-along. There's a thread in the Ravelry group as well. That was a lot. That was a lot, you guys. See if this tea is ready, or if it's still way too hot to drink. Oh no, too hot. Okay, so I was at, I don't know if you can read that or not. It says, "Girl, you've got this." And it's pink, and I have been traveling for the last 2 weeks, so I was at a conference last weekend, Wednesday through Sunday, and then I came back. I had 1 day at home pretty much, and then I went to a conference again Tuesday and Wednesday, and there was a symposium / breakout session specifically for women who are in the field that I am, which as a pastor there's not very many. So there was a conference, like a breakout for women in leadership roles in the church, and they gave everyone a cup that says, "Girl, you've got this," and it's so sweet, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm drinking one of my favorite teas of all time today, which is this. It is Puka Womankind, which is a cranberry, rose, and vanilla tee. I got this at my local grocery store. I've had a lot of people, because I posted about this on Instagram before, ask me where to get this. I just got it at the grocery store, so I don't know, but I'm positive you can buy it online. So, it smells so good. If you are looking for me anywhere on the interweb, you can find me as the Cozy Cottage Crochet. That is on Instagram, where I am most active, although I haven't posted anything in a couple of weeks because I have been so busy. But I will be getting back to that soon. Also on Facebook, it's the Cozy Cottage Crochet. On Ravelry, it is the Cozy Cottage, but you're better off just joining the Ravelry group, which is right down below, and I am I'm the moderator. I'm the administrator. What am I trying to say to you? Clearly, I feel like I'm out of practice, even though I also feel like I just talked to you 5 minutes ago from the last episode. If you have anything you would like to say related to the podcast specifically, whether that be a question, comment, concern, please shoot me an email. My email address is thecozycottagecrochet@gmail.com. That is the best way to assure that I will get back to you. I am behind. At the moment, I am trying to catch up. Probably a hopeless endeavor. But because I have been out of town and very, very busy, and then when I came back, I'm trying to catch up on work. So I'm a little behind on everything. I haven't even looked at YouTube comments, even though I know you guys have left some amazing comments on the last video. I will get to that, but please be patient with me. I will catch up eventually, right? That's the eternal hope and dream. Should we talk about some yarn? I think so. Now, I'm sorry. There is something. It's like a piece of fuzz in my eye. The worst. I don't have any finished objects. I know. Insert screaming noises. I was so close because I could have finished the winter hold shawl that I showed off last time, but I ran out of yarn and I didn't get to Joann's until Monday. No, I didn't get to Joann's until Wednesday this week. And then yesterday I didn't do anything. I mean, I went to work but I didn't really crochet at all. So I have not finished my winter hold shawl. I also had another project that I had really, really hoped to have done today so I could show it to you because I'm giving it away on Sunday, but it is not finished either. My crochet time has been extremely limited because of the amount of travel and work I have been doing. But I still do have stuff to talk about. So we are going to go directly into works in progress, and I will show you what I have been working on. So the thing that I really wanted to have finished by now is living in this amazing little bag that Allie of the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast sent to me. And look at this cute pin that says, "You are a little drop of wonderful." She made me this bag and I love it so much, and it is the perfect size to fit fingerless gloves in. So I am making these as it's a commission, so someone is paying me to make them a pair of fingerless gloves. This is actually the second time I have worked this pattern. None of my ends are woven in. I have one glove finished. This pattern is just called Fingerless Gloves by Mikey Von Coert. I always butcher her name. But it's actually kind of difficult to find this pattern because it's just called Fingerless Gloves. But if you go to my Ravelry page and search for Fingerless Gloves, there is a project page for these and the previous pair that I made that is directly linked to the pattern. So the pattern is written in US, UK, and Danish. Is that right? It's written in 2 terms plus another language. And I omitted, the only change I made this time is I omitted one of these repeats to make this cuff a little bit shorter because the person that I'm making them for is a little bit shorter than I am, and she didn't want them to come all the way up to here. So one glove is completely finished. I still have to weave in the ends and block it. And the other one, I have the cuff finished. So it's about halfway done. As you can see, I have to do the thumb part and then close it off. I was trying to work on this last night. I got through the entire cuff and then I don't know what happened. I gave up and I stopped working on it and I just watched TV for like 2 hours and then I went straight to bed. And you would think normally when I'm watching TV, I have something in my hands and I'm working on it. No, did not happen. I am making this out of Patents Croy socks in the colorway Gray Marl. This is a yarn that I can get at my local Joann Fabrics. It says it's a fingering weight, but really it's pretty plump for a fingering weight. I would say it's probably more of a sport. This is the same yarn I used the last time. It feels a little stiff when you're working with it, but once you put this in like wool wash and use a little bit of soak, it softens up so beautifully. and it smells so sheepy. I am using a 3.25 millimeter clover hook for this. I don't know why I said clover hook. I always use clover hooks. I don't use any other kind of crochet hooks when I'm doing regular crochet. The pattern calls for a 3 millimeter hook, but I crochet tightly, so I went up a little bit on the first pair, and that worked out just fine. So yeah, I'm not gonna have these to show you next time, but they had better be finished next time because I have to give them to her in 2 days. So that is actually my goal for today, once I edit this podcast, is to finish these gloves, which honestly is not even gonna take that long, like maybe half an hour. Just get with the program, okay? That's what I need to tell myself. T-test. Yeah, I definitely just burnt my tongue. You guys are witness to that. I think what I'm going to do, even though it is extremely dangerous, is take the lid off and let it sit back here for a little bit and cool down. Because I really want to drink it, you guys. Okay, the next thing that I have been working on, I will show you the other crochet project, and then I'll talk about the knitting, because I've only been making socks because I've been in conferences for a week, and I don't have any crochet projects that I generally take to conferences. Number one, they're usually larger, and number two, I generally have to look at what I'm doing when I'm crocheting, except if it's a granny project. But I hadn't started the Just Feel Better shawl, like I haven't even wound the yarn up yet, so I didn't have that to work on, so I had to take knitted socks. But I did get a little bit of work done on my Tunisian crochet design, which is living in this sheepy bag that I made. This is a pattern that I am designing. I haven't gotten extremely far on it. I had hoped that I would be farther, but I have gotten through one entire repeat of the pattern, and now it's just going to repeat itself. So it's a little crumpled because I took this with me to Washington, D.C., but I didn't pull it out once, so it's had a hard life. So as you can see, this yarn is amazing, and from back here, it may be difficult to see the pattern, but once you get close, you can notice that there's a textured diamond pattern. There's a big diamond, and then we have a little diamond. And then, of course, once this is blocked, it's gonna look fabulous. I would like to enter this into the Pisces season make-along that Kalisha at the Quirky Monday Craftcast is hosting, but I don't know. I should call this episode Hopelessly Behind. That's what I feel like in my life. I have only gotten through one repeat, so there's no way it's gonna be done. I am using Life in the Long Grass studio yarn that I got in Edinburgh when I was there in October last year. You can tell that it definitely wants to be Tunisian crochet. The depth of color in this yarn is so amazing. I have that, and so this is going to be a cowl, and what is going to happen is I'm going to work a certain number of repeats in this yarn, and then I am going to switch. Now that yarn is the colorway Dreaming. This is 100% superwash wool, right? Nope, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is the tag. And then I'm going to switch to this. And the colorway for this is Wild Rosebud. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I really, really want to work on this a lot, but I just haven't had. The problem is you have to count. You have to count for this pattern, and I have not had the ability to do that and listen to conference speakers at the same time. I think that I am possibly going to call this project, this pattern, maybe the Tunisian Zen Cowl, because you have to count. And the reason that I designed it that way specifically is so that it would be a little bit more than mindless. So we all know that if you're working on a really challenging project, you have to dedicate your whole mind to it, and that can be a little bit frustrating. And if you're working on a very easy project, you can kind of zone out. But what I wanted this to be is a project in between, so that if you are dealing with anxiety, if you are worried that day, if you're feeling down that day, you have to engage a little bit more of your brain than just one stitch. Like, you can't just put it on autopilot and watch TV, because you do have to count a little bit, and that will engage another tiny bit of your brain, and it will make you feel better. I promise, because I have worked on this a lot. Ooh, look, you can see the pattern now. I don't know why holding it this way makes you see the pattern, but so something like that. I'm gonna name it something similar to that, like related to Zen or meditation or mindfulness or something. I am using a 4.5 millimeter Tunisian crochet hook. This is the Denise hook, and I am not very far. Although I think last time I showed it to you, I was only here. So I have done like another, like that's a fair chunk, but we'll see. We'll see what happens next time. The pattern will not be written anytime soon. I can tell you that. But I am enjoying every minute of it, and that's the purpose of this Tunisian crochet cowl, is to enjoy every minute of it. The other couple of things that I have been working on, first of all, I'm going to show you the socks that I hate because I showed them last time and many of you were like, rip them out, but I was like already done with the first sock, so I didn't want to do that. So I finished the first one. Last time I think I was like right about here on the first one. So I did the heel and then did the cuff and the bind off. So this gray yarn is Lang Yawool yarn. It's just in gray, and then this is Barocco socks yarn in the colorway Nightly. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what number that is, but essentially I talked last time about how much I hate this yarn because it splits like nobody's business. It's very rough, which I don't think is necessarily going to translate into a hard wearing sock. Like, it's not spun evenly. I don't know. There was 2 knots in one sock, and for $15 sock yarn, that is unacceptable to me. But I finished the sock. I'm still gonna wear them. And I started the next one. So I have the toe done, and then I did a teeny tiny bit in the Barocco socks yarn, and then I promptly put it away in the corner and didn't do anything with it because I hated it. So I don't know when these are gonna be done. It's probably like a longer term pair of socks because I just don't enjoy working on them, but because they're already more than 50% done and they're like completely mindless, I'm not gonna rip them out because I know that I will wear them. The yarn is driving me nuts. Like, it's just not enjoyable to work with at all. So it's living in this amazingly exciting knitting llamacorn bag because this makes me happy, and maybe if I look at this, the socks will make me happy. Who knows? So what I took with me when I went to Washington, D.C. was I took the Tunisian crochet cowl, didn't work on that even a tiny bit, and I took 2 pairs of socks to work on. They're living in this little popsicle ice cream scoop bag that Claudia of the Crochet Luna podcast gave to me a long time ago, and this bag has actually been with me on almost every single trip I have taken. This bag has been literally all over the world, certainly all over the United States, and you can tell it's a little pilly. It's been washed a few times. It's had a lot of love, but I adore this bag. It's definitely my #1 sock bag and my travel bag, and every time I use it, I think of you, Claudia, so I love it. So I actually stuffed enough yarn for 2 pairs of socks in here, which you may think I'm crazy for that, but I was sitting in a conference for 3 days straight listening to presentations that were wonderful. I didn't want to crochet because, again, I have to look, so I wanted to be able to do something that I could look at and still engage with the speaker. So what I did was I pulled some amazing sock yarn out of my pile. This was a gift from a viewer of this podcast who has donated quite a lot of stuff for prizes, but she actually sent me some sock yarn to use and said, please keep this, I want you to make socks with it. I'm not going to say no to that. So what it is Hue Loco Knit 2 to go. No, Knit 2 together. I can't read it backwards. Sock Club. It's the Hue Loco and Grocery Girls Sock Club. And so the one that I pulled out had this yarn and this yarn in it. So 2 50-gram skeins. So this was 50 grams and this was 50 grams. And then a 20-gram mini. So because I generally just make shorty socks, I was like, I can totally get 2 full pairs of socks out of 120 grams, no problem. And probably with enough leftovers between these two to make another pair of socks faded somehow, as long as there's another mini involved. So what I did is I paired the blue with this little gray mini that came. And then I pulled out of my stash for this one a little purple tonal mini skein, and this yarn is by AcornWillows, who is she used to be Melissa Dawn Wool Artist, but now she's AcornWillows on Instagram and Etsy. So she dyes beautiful yarn, and I had purchased some of her yarn at the end of last year. She had a sale, and so she actually sent me a few extra minis, and this is one of them. So I thought that that paired really, really well together. And these are the socks. I have completed 2 3/4 socks, which for 5 full days of conferences in the last 2 weeks, I feel like I could probably have finished 2 complete pairs, but I did have to be engaged at some point, right? So here is the first completed sock. Again, it's a little crumply because it's been in my, do you know what? Where are my sock blockers? I need to go get those. Okay. Here is sock number 1. This is in the blue yarn, and look at this amazing speckling. So you have this beautiful tonal gray, and then it goes into this blue. Ugh. Can I just tell you how happy this makes me? I have enjoyed every single minute of working with this yarn. Amanda, thank you so much for sending this to me. I have never tried Hue Loco yarn before. I've heard good things, but it's just never been something that I've been purchased before. And I don't know when I would have been able to do that, and I have had the opportunity to work with it. This yarn is like, working with it is like butter. Like, it is so plump and round and squishy. It does not split. This yarn has had a hard life already because it's been dragged on several airplanes, but it's not pilling. It's just gorgeous all around. Every stitch is a dream to work with. It slides across my needles perfectly, and I love it. I loved every minute of working on this sock. And I am to the heel on the second one. So I just measured, and I am at 7.5 inches, which is how long I will make my foot before I start the Fishlets Kiss heel. So I have to do that, but this sock is almost done as well. So this is almost a complete pair. Crazy! But that's not all. I finished a pink one as well, and I wasn't doing it in any particular order, so I started with the gray one. So on the plane on the way to Washington, D.C., I did a toe for the gray one, and I did a toe for the pink one, and that way when I got to the conference, I just worked 2 complete socks. And then on the way plane home, I did another toe for this one, and then at the next conference, I worked the foot of that sock. So this is the pink one. It's so beautiful. So I am so happy that I had this purple to match with this pink. I think it goes so well. I cannot wait to wear these. Of course, I only have 1 sock of this, and I have not started the second one yet, but again, this is the same yarn, except for this little mini being AcornWillows yarn. Both of these yarns I loved working with. They're so plump, they don't split, they're just beautiful. And after working with the Barocco Socks yarn, this is like a million times better. Like a million. So, here's the socks. So I have completed 2 3/4 socks in the last 2 weeks. Well, technically I completed 3 socks because of that other terrible sock. The sock that shall not be named. That's what we're gonna call it. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. It would be nice if these were done, but I will always have the memory of working on these socks in Washington, D.C., and then I'll be able to just think about that every time that I wear them. So I'm very excited. I love the yarn. If that's what all Hue Loco yarn is like, I cannot recommend it more. It was an absolute joy to work with. So let's check in on the tea situation. It's still steaming a little bit. Better, much better. Could use another 5 minutes. Oh, do you know what I haven't mentioned? What am I wearing? This is the Doppio Coliseum shawl that was a pattern by Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast. Doppio Coliseum, So this one's worked from the bottom up, so I'm pretty sure that makes it the Doppio. So you start right here, and then you just get bigger and bigger and longer and wider. And I made this out of Barocco Cotton DK, which is a yarn that I really, really like, because once you put it on, once I adjust this, it just stays. And I don't know if it's the weight of the yarn or the length, I don't know. But this shawl just stays on me and I never have to mess with it once I put it back on. And there's no shawl pins involved or anything. And it's a very, like, you can see the texture. It's kind of textured, and then it's got these lace panels, and it was a joy to work up. So I highly recommend this pattern. I actually made the Colosseum and the Doppio Colosseum, and then the Colosseum was a gift for someone, so I gave that away. But this one is for me, so I was very happy to pull it out and wear it today. So as I have been mentioning, I'll give you a little life update. I have been all over the place. So the last time we recorded was the last time I recorded a podcast was 2 weeks ago on Friday, and that night I was working that night, so that's when I got some of my Tunisian crochet done. And then the next day, I have no idea what happened that day. Maybe I did some sewing. Actually, I definitely did some sewing. I made like 3 or 4 dodgy bags, none of which I have to show you. So I do have some other finished objects, I just can't show them to you, and I didn't take any photos of them, and they've already been given away to people. So I did do a little bit of sewing, and then the day after that, I worked like 14 hours. So Monday, I was super tired. Tuesday, I had a dentist appointment. Ugh, the worst. I'm not actually like afraid of dentists, and I don't hate them personally. It's just every single time I go, it is like an extremely painful experience, no matter how much they numb me. And I had to get like 2 teeth back here basically taken apart and put back together because the previous dentist did not do a good job, and it was just a mess. So I did that in the morning, and then I worked until 9 p.m. that night. And then the very next day, I got up at 5-ish to catch a flight to Washington, D.C. So the most fun thing actually is that I got to meet up with Seta of Seta's Place. Hi! While I was in Washington, D.C. So she picked me up from the airport, and we went to Starbucks and just talked for a while, and then we went to Joann's and Michael's. And so the Michael's is actually way bigger than the Joann's, at least the one that we went to, which is crazy because my Joann's is way bigger than the Michael's. I have one of each, like a mile from my house. So that was exciting. I didn't buy anything. And then we went to Red Robin and ate burgers and fries. And you know how Red Robin has those steak fries that are like unlimited? And I wish they were skinny fries, because if skinny fries were unlimited, I could eat so many of them, but that's why they have steak fries, because you can only eat a certain amount. But they were really good. I think they were the best Red Robin steak fries I've ever had. And then she dropped me off at the Metro, and I went over to a friend's house where I was staying that night. Some friends of mine that have moved to DC a few years ago. So they weren't actually home from work yet, so I actually got a nap, which was the best thing ever. And of course they have 2 cats. So I had a nap with 2 cats. And then we went out to dinner, and that was really nice. And then the conference started the very next day. So that was pretty much a whirlwind from Thursday morning until Saturday night at about midnight. And then Sunday I got on a plane. I flew home. I landed at like 10 a.m. and then I drove straight to work, which is church. And then I finished that, and I flew home because it was my husband's birthday, and I had a surprise birthday party planned for him that he did not know about, which was very exciting, and he actually was surprised. Wait, I can't believe I pulled that off. So that was amazing. And then as soon as that was over, I like passed out. So Monday was spent recovering. I was basically just like, I don't know what's happening because I was so tired. And then Tuesday, of course, I was working again. And then, oh no, Tuesday I was at a conference. So I had one day, and then there was another conference that my entire staff that I work with attended, Tuesday and Wednesday. And yesterday I went to work, I came home, and basically just sat on the couch and stared at the wall. Like, that has been my 2 weeks, and now I'm recording. So that is why I have not gotten a lot done. But it has been just a wonderful time. If you hear noises in the background right now, so my husband's making lunch in the kitchen, which is right over there. He works like 10 feet that way in the corner, so he works from home. And then my brother's girlfriend and their beautiful, beautiful little baby is in the back room as well. So if you hear some babies crying, sorry, this is real life. It's either record and there'll be noise or don't record. So, it's just been a whirlwind. Like, I don't even feel like I can process everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks. I just would like to sit down and maybe watch a couple of podcasts and do a little bit of crochet. That's what I need right now. I do want to show you some very special things that I received in the last couple of weeks. So first of all, when I met up with Seta, she gave me a little package, and in there was this notebook that says Choose Joy, which is so pretty, and it's wood. And this is actually what I wrote the prize winners on. So of this notebook, she gave me some chocolate, which I have eaten. She gave me some tea, which I drank some of, and now I don't know where the rest of it is. I know it's in one of the things that I had from Washington, D.C., because I haven't really unpacked yet. But I'll find it. She gave me some beautiful tea and like some scent beads, like a scented sachet, and then a little prayer box, which is like, has like a tiny little pen and some note cards in it, and you can just like write some prayers and put it in a prayer box. That was beautiful and super sweet. And then this cute little magnet that says beautiful. So that was really special. Thank you, Seta. I'm so glad I got to meet you. It was so exciting, and I don't know when I'll be back in DC, but if I ever am in DC again, we'll have to meet up if you're still there. So I got a couple of things in the mail as well that I want to show you. The first thing, well, it's not in any particular order, but one thing that I received in the mail, it came in while I was at this week at a conference, and I just almost dropped everything. And I opened it, and it's full of the most cute and random things. So this is from a lovely person named Julie, who sent me, she sent me a ball of yarn a while back because I came home from our UK trip with like five or six balls of Stylecraft Atlantis, which I want to make a sweater with. I still want to make a sweater with it. My life does not give me that much time to crochet, I feel, at the moment. And I was like, I don't think this is going to be enough for a sweater, so she sent me one extra ball of it, so that when I am able to make a sweater with it, it'll actually have enough and not have to play yarn chicken, because you can't really get that yarn in the US without ordering it from overseas, and it's like a whole thing. Anyways, she sent me a package of really cute stuff. So there's a beautiful little candle that is white linen and orchid. I don't know why I'm holding it up to the screen like you can smell it. That's what it smells like. It's amazing. Some face scrub. Now, I actually used to use this all the time, and I ran out, and I haven't bought it anymore, so I'm really happy with this. I have really, really sensitive skin, and this does not bother my skin at all, so I will be using this immediately. She also sent me some cold infused tea. This is blueberry, apple, and black currant. Let me, it smells, look at those. It smells amazing. So I'm very, very excited about that, because it is about to be summer, y'all, in Florida. She also sent me a container of Marmite. If you don't know what Marmite is, it is like a yeast spread that people eat a lot of in the UK and in Australia. You can't really get this in the United States unless you go to a specialty store or order it online. I don't know. I'm gonna try it, but it's such a strong smell. I don't know, Julie. Maybe it doesn't taste as bad as it smells. Do you guys want me to taste this right now? Are you supposed to taste it by itself or on like bread or something? It's almost like, it's sticky like molasses, and it's molasses colored, but it does not smell sweet. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's very salty, which I like, because I like salt a lot. But it's got, I don't know, it's kind of bitter and weird. I'll try it on some toast or something. How am I supposed to eat this? What do you put Marmite on? Toast? Do you put it on, like, what do you do with it? So, I don't know, that cracked me up when I pulled this out. because this is definitely not something that you can get here in Florida. So now you have all seen me taste test some Marmite. And she also sent in a beautiful little snowflake box sock yarn for the year of the sock. This is West Yorkshire Spinners, which is also yarn we can't really get here. This is 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it doesn't say what kind of wool. It just says it contains 35% blue-faced Leicester, which is a little bit of a more rustic, rougher wool, but it's very good for socks, or so I've heard. I don't know. I've only ever made them out of superwash. But it will wear a lot better. So this is, you get 437 yards for 100 grams. I don't think it has the color. I don't think it has the color on here, but it's beautiful. And I will definitely be making a pair of socks out of this for the year of the sock. And it says that it is made in Yorkshire. So West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, made in Yorkshire. Very excited. So thank you so much, Julie. That was very sweet of you. I will be using that sock yarn and the candle and the face scrub and the tea, and I don't know about the Marmite. Hopefully that's okay. I don't know about the Marmite. That's so, I don't know. I can still taste it. I don't know how I feel about that. Tea has reached perfect hot proportions. The other thing that came in the mail was a gift from a podcast viewer named Phyllis, who said she was sending me something, and I was like, okay, that's so sweet of you, like, thank you so much. And then a package arrived, and I got home Sunday night from my conference in Washington, D.C., and this package was there, and it was like a little Amazon package, and I was like, okay, and I opened it, and I was like, but it didn't have a note or anything, so I sent her a message, and I was like, I feel like this had to have been from you. Was this from you? Because if so, thank you is a very small, insignificant word to say for this thing that you got me. And it was from her. So Phyllis, I just want to say thank you. I legitimately don't feel like thank you is enough to say to you. Like, I'm a little overwhelmed by your generosity. So on the last podcast episode, I had talked about the Tunisian crochet hooks and how much I love them and was saving up for a pair, and she sent me a full set. Oop. Can you believe it? This is an entire 12 hook set of the Tunisian. Oh man, I can't sleep. Clearly I need a nap. Okay, can we just rewind a second? First of all, I said Tunisian, and then in correcting myself, I said, I can't sleep, I need a nap. No, that isn't even what I was trying to say. I meant to say, I can't talk, I need a nap. Clearly, my brain has shut off at this point. So this is a 12 hook set of Tunisian crochet hooks of the Denise interchangeables. And it comes in this plastic case, which reminds me of like something cassette tapes would have come from. If you're young, you probably don't know what a cassette tape is, but like I used to have a 6 CD stereo changer that my grandma got me, and it had cassettes, like a two deck cassettes. And so what I would do is I would record the radio onto my cassette tapes, and then I would have my own mix and, you know, edit out the commercials, because that's how cool we were. This was before streaming, okay? I'm getting old. I'm an elder millennial. Anyways, look at these amazing hooks. So it comes with 12 hooks, all of these cables in different sizes that of course you can attach to each other to make longer cables if you would like. It comes with cable extenders and stoppers, and then these hooks. So let me take a hook out. Take the biggest one out. This is the 15 millimeter hook. I actually can't wait to do something with this hook. I've never made anything with a 15 millimeter hook before. So I think that would be really, really fun. And it goes from a 15 millimeter all the way down to a 3.75. And of course they're in these beautiful pastel colors. So this is amazing. I don't know what to do with myself. And so I will definitely be using these. And that's not even all, because a beautiful viewer of this podcast named Marianne contacted Denise Hooks and sent them my last YouTube video. And then they contacted me and said, can we send you something? And I was like, sure, but just so you know, I have already received like this amazing thing. And they were like, okay, no problem, we'll send you something to hold them in. So if you will hold 1 second, I will get this ready. So what they sent was their Denise to go little kit. So it's basically a crochet hook kit, and it folds over, and then you put your hooks in here, and then in the back you have pockets for your cables of different sizes. In the middle you have your stoppers and your extenders, and then you can have the little bitty cables are over here. Now I can get the bucket. So it's like a holder for all of these hooks, and of course she sent me a complete set of hooks as well, which I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I actually have wanted to try double-ended Tunisian crochet for quite a while now, but of course you have to have double-ended tools to do that. And you can make these double-ended if you just have 2 of them. You can attach them 1, 2, and I'll show you. Let me pull out a little cable. So these actually, they just go and they lock in. You just turn them and they lock in and they don't come out. So I'm going to use 2 different sizes, but this is how you would make a double-ended Tunisian crochet hook. So the previous Tunisian crochet hook set from Knitter's Pride that I have, while it has cables, you cannot use them as double-ended because the cable on one end screws into the hook and the cable on the other end screws into the stopper, and the threads are not the same size. So you can't actually screw a hook in to the stopper end. Why, I don't know, but I'm really excited about this. So yeah, I was kind of blown away. I have been dying to play with these, but of course I haven't really been home at all. So my Denise Tunisian crochet dreams have come true and I'm so excited, and maybe I will be able to design more Tunisian crochet patterns in the future once I can finish that one. So gosh, I think that's probably it. I feel like I have been all over the place this episode. I have been stumbling over my words. I have been saying a lot. I have been saying so a lot. But that's okay. You know why? Because I'm tired and it's been a long 2 weeks. And the reason for me to podcast is not so I can be like, look at all the things I've made. You should aspire to be like me. No, that's not the reason. The reason is just to come spend some time with you, to see you, to read your comments, to hang out. It's to be with you in this crafty community. And even if I only have 1 sock that I've worked on in 2 weeks, I will still come back and podcast. I try not to put a lot of pressure on myself because I want this to be something that's full of joy and joyful, and making is the thing that makes me happiest in life. So I don't ever want to be like, I have to get this done, because it's just gonna make me miserable. So when I last night just stared at the wall and watched TV for 2 hours without doing anything, that was completely fine. You don't have to put unrealistic expectations on yourself, okay? Be kind to yourself. If you're tired, if you're just overwhelmed with work, if you just need a break, or maybe you just want to do something that doesn't involve making for a little bit, that's totally fine. The yarn will be here. We will be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be back in 2 weeks for sure. So in the meantime, if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you would like to be kept up to date on future videos that come live, go live. Oh my gosh, I need to stop talking. For future videos that appear on this channel as they pop up, you can hit the subscribe button also down below and the notification bell. I will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, make sure that you are joining in to the Spread the Warmth Mal. The only rule is that you just have to make something and give it away, so that will be super, super exciting. There will be so many prizes. If you want a prize in the loves of your stash cow, please send me your address so that I can get that out to you in the mail, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. So until then, happy crafting, and you better be nice to yourself, okay?